If this video gets 60,000 likes, I will destroy one of my GPUs in front of the camera with a hammer. What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource and welcome to Setup Wars episode 63 Ultimate Edition, where 5 of the best setups go head to head against each other. If you guys want to participate in Setup Wars, make sure to watch the video linked below, but without wasting any more time, let the Setup Wars begin. Never pay full price for games ever again, guys. G2A offers the cheapest CD keys you can find anywhere. Check them out by clicking on the link below. As always, you guys can find the gear to everyone's setups linked below, along with anything I recommend in this episode. But here are your 5 contestants for this week. We have Alex, CJ, Downtime, Gus, and Jeffrey. Congratulations for making it on the show. Starting off the show is Alex and his tri-display setup. So we have 3 22-inch HP monitors sitting on the IKEA Lindemann desk, and a black Web Centaur keyboard, and an E-Blue Mazer wireless mouse. On the right side is his custom painted Xbox 360 Slim, a Sades gaming headset on the left, and finally we have a set of Boston Acoustic satellite speakers in the center. Cable management can definitely be improved. I do see that you tried to wrap them together, but it still needs some work. Perhaps a cable sleeve or some Velcro straps can aid you with grouping those wires together. The PC that's powering the setup has an FX8350 and an R7 370. Honestly, this is a dope setup, but the main thing that's lacking is organization. I would definitely hang the headset under the desk or behind the monitor so that you don't have the cable running through your setup like this. Also, putting one of those speakers on each side of your desk would give you more of a surround sound experience instead of having all your audio coming out from the center. The Xbox controller charging dock is cool, but it's also a little too high, which blocks the view of one of your monitors. So if you want to keep them on your desk, I would advise getting something flatter like this charging dock instead. And finally, the action figures. Although it does add some personality to this setup, I would at least move this dude to the other side so that the legs aren't covering the screen. Other than those minor adjustments, I do like the custom painted R2-D2 trash can and the wall art that you have over there. Lots of potential for this setup. Thank you, Alex, for entering. CJ is next up with our second tri-display setup, but this time we have 2 24-inch AOC monitors sandwiching a 27-inch Acer. On the desk we have the Razer Deathstalker Chroma keyboard, Razer Tartarus keypad, and a Naga 2012 mouse. It looks like the desk is custom built with carbon fiber wrapping, which looks pretty sick. I also love the placement of the PC, right smack in front of you. I wonder if that gets distracting at times, because if that was me, I would constantly look up at it and not get any work done. The PC powering the setup has a 5930K and a GTX 980 Ti inside the Thermaltake Core P5 case. For audio, we have a pair of Sennheiser HD 598s, a Blue Snowball mic hooked up to the boom arm, and a set of Insignia 2.1 Bluetooth speakers. I didn't really get a clean shot of the cable management, but from what I can see, judging by this picture, is that the cables are tied together with some Velcro and are routed through the giant PC stand. Other than moving the phone to the right side so that it's not directly in front of the monitor, I see that this is a well-built setup. Thank you, CJ, for entering. Changing things up, we have Downtime and his super sexy black and white setup. We don't have 3 monitors, but instead have 2 different ones, a 27-inch ROG Swift and a 27-inch 1080p. The monitors are resting on top of a riser, and below that we have a Sony Blu-ray player, some surround sound speakers, and a custom painted Focusrite audio interface, which by the way is hooked up to the Rode Procaster mic that's being held up by the Rode PSA-1 boom arm. For peripherals, he's rocking the Astro A50s, Corsair K95 keyboard, and an M65 mouse, both of which are RGB, and it appears that he drilled a hole in the desk to route the cables through. Speaking of cable management, the power strips, LEDs, and pretty much everything else is attached on the roof of the desk and off of the ground. And you did all this without using a Signum rack. Job well done, I'm very impressed. And of course, we can't forget this beast that's sitting right next to your setup. A very sexy build inside the Cooler Master Cosmos 2, rocking the 4960X CPU that's overclocked to 4.6, and 2 GTX Titan X's in SLI. This thing is a beast. Excellent work with sticking with the same color scheme of your setup and that cable management. Very nice. This is definitely an awesome black and white setup. Thank you, Downtime, for entering. Back to triple monitor setups. Gus is rocking 3 27-inch BenQs on top of the IKEA Lindemann desk. And for the gaming gear, we have another Corsair K95 RGB keyboard, as well as a Corsair Scimitar RGB mouse that's sitting on top of the Corsair extended mousepad. Let's go Team Corsair. We also have a pair of Logitech Z623 speakers and his Sony tablet and smartphone. Now, although I don't have a problem with the speaker placement, the cables running down one of the legs definitely bothers me. I do like the fact that you decided to keep your PC on top of the drawer next to you instead of leaving it on the ground. After all, why wouldn't you want to look at this beauty that's rocking a 6700K and 2 GTX 980 Ti's? Cable management looks pretty good for the most part. I would really try and find a way to route that speaker cable towards the back somehow, maybe run it alongside the desk using some cable clips. Also, reaching the HyperX Cloud 2s may be annoying since it's on top of your PC and away from reach, but at least you have a dedicated place for them. Apart from that, the rest of your setup looks pretty dope. Some people might say that there is too much red, but I for one think it's perfect. I love the contrast, especially the red wall. I think it's a nice change from the usual boring white that we see in most setups. Symmetry is also on point with those paintings on the wall. I mean, what more can I ask for? A very sick setup. Thank you guys for entering. Last but not least, we have Jeffrey and his battle station. This here is a custom built desk with a PC inside. We have a 34-inch LG ultra-wide monitor on the bottom and a 23-inch Dell monitor up top. And for peripherals, Jeffrey's rocking the Logitech G710 keyboard that has a custom paint job, and the Logitech MX mouse, which is odd considering that this is a gaming setup and that mouse is more for productivity. We also have a pair of Hercules XPS Studio monitors and an Asus Echelon headset hanging from the side. So this is no regular PC desk. What sets this one apart from the other ones I featured on my channel is the fact that this has two separate PCs built inside. One is for a server and the other is for gaming. The gaming side has a 4770K and an MSI GTX 980, whereas the server build has a G3220 and some other GPU which he forgot to list in the notes. I'm surprised that cable management is spot on considering that there are two PCs and two monitors in this setup. I don't see a single wire in sight and they all appear to be hidden behind the desk. Not much else to say, a very impressive setup indeed. Thank you Jeffrey for entering. So that will do it for this episode of Setup Wars Ultimate Edition. Make sure you guys drop your comments down below and vote on who you think has the best desk setup. I'll announce the winners on Sunday on my social media accounts. And that is basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy Setup Wars, leave a like and I will see you in the next video.